Life is a process, no matter how you go about it. Masi Ogechukwu Nkere, Omalicha Nwoke, the Biafra Republic Government and Exile Finance Minister, is humbly campaigning for global Biafran financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafran Defense Forces, and redeclaration-related activities. I appreciate all Biafrans who have been supporting our liberation movement. I also urge everyone to massively support more than ever, especially in these critical times. Oh, my fellow lovely great Biafrans, let's come together and support our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa, who is currently working tirelessly to hand over our freedom to us this year, 2024. Freedom is coming, yeah. Yo. Masi Ogechukwu Nkere. Salute every Biafran especially. Yeah. Ogechukwu kama. Ogechukwu kaina yo no. Ogechukwu kama. Onyamana gidi bakulo unu. Ogechukwu kama. Welu didi chukwu kasebele. Ogechukwu kama. Ogechukwu kama. Si Ogechukwu Nkere nekelunu. Ogechukwu kama. Ogechukwu kaina yo no. Ogechukwu kama. Ogechukwu kaina yo na nyasi. Ogechukwu kama. There is no magic to progress and success in life. Life gives back what you give to it. It takes a man who believes in himself to create wealth. So keep working hard and never lose hope in what you believe in. Ayakata. Life is not easy. Sigh. Make you take and judge. I want to use this special opportunity to recognize great Dim Ebubeagu. I can't also forget General Philip Effiong, Okama Daloso, Kamcheta men underground, Umoma Kubigwe, Anyina Fuakolunu, Airborne. De facto government in Homeland, a special recognition to every Biafran who have been supporting from day one. May Elohim continue to flourish in your different endeavors. He says, Mazinandikano, Ohamadike, one of Biafra. The Prime Minister, Obatobie, Ogechukwu Nkere Simukelekio, Mukoma, Ogechukwu kama, Ogechukwu kaina yo no. Ogechukwu kama, Onyamana gidi bakulo unu. Ogechukwu kama, Welu didi chukwu kasebele. Ogechukwu kama, Ogechukwu kama. Mama biko yo bolisa. Ogechukwu kama. Ogechukwu kaina yo no. Ogechukwu kama. Ogechukwu kaina yo na nyasi. Ogechukwu kama. Ayole, ayiga kolone garole nu. Uwi bole, chetakwa na ndubofuo. 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, Onye puru chi yuzo akwa no. Don't give up when it's so close. It's so close. Okay, Chukukama. Never you give up, no, no, no. Okay, Chukukama. Believe in your dreams, brother. Okay, Chukukama. Never you say no, 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 no. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. Never you down your faith, no, no. Okay, Chukukama. Keep your head up, keep on fighting, okay, Chukukama. Okay, Chukukama. A big shout out to Mazi Ogechukukere. I salute you, my PM, Mazi Simoniba. Life is sweet when you're patient. The greatest shout out goes to the media team, great talents. They won.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, the Senate is worried that if the activities of Simon Ekpa, who is issuing the illegal sit-at-home order, is not checked, he may succeed in corrupting the minds of Nigerian youths and turning them against the government of Nigeria. Accordingly, the Senate resolved to condemn the sit-at-home in totality, as well as the nefarious activities of Simon Ekpa, who is the gang leader.
Point of order, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President,
every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people. Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you
The governor of the state himself obeys the sit-at-home on Monday, and then the civil servants that work in government house obey the sit-at-home, and government shut down on Mondays. It means the real governor of Southeast is Simon Ekpa.
Every one of us must rise up. The armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you
never go home.
God forbid.
And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
Never.
If you stop now agitating for Biafra, those who left back home will die.
Never. Truth.
I know you have not come with your pen and paper because I'm not on air.
We do.
I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. If you stop what you're doing, our people will die.
Yes. You are right. You're right.
Because when it starts happening, I will tell you on the 30th of May 2019 at Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so.
Yes.
If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
Never.
If you stop now agitating for Biafra, those who left back home will die.
Yes. Never. Truth.
I know you have not come with your pen and paper because I'm not on air.
We do.
I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. If you stop what you're doing, our people will die.
Yes. You are right. You're right.
Because when it starts happening, I will tell you on the 30th of May 2019 at Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so.
Yes.
If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
Never.
If you stop now agitating for Biafra, those who left back home will die.
Yes. Never. Truth.
I know you have not come with your pen and paper because I'm not on air.
We do.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and cherish. We have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. In Him we trust. Shout it, sing it. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. We have emerged triumphant from all our foes. Through the crucible unscathed, we burst victorious. Our trumpets beat, our glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra, we shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes, our precious men, who day and night save them always. All hail Biafra.
Good evening, Biafran people, and good morning, good afternoon, good night to some of you, depending on your time zone. I bring you warm greetings. And this is not going to be a very long one because of the time constraints. To the Biafra Defense Forces, kudos to all of you doing your work. And to Biafrans in the homeland, kudos to all of you. And to Biafrans in diaspora, kudos to all of you. To our supreme leader, kudos to your existence. To our eternal leader, kudos to your existence. To our former president of Biafra, kudos to your existence. To our PM, kudos to your existence. And to our APM, kudos to your existence. To the entire BRGI cabinet, kudos to your existences. To Biafrans in the media, kudos to your existence. To Biafrans in all areas serving the Biafran government in one way and another, kudos to your existence. And I hope my voice is coming out loud and clear, please. Greetings to everyone. Greetings. Network has been bad lately, so let me be sure I'm coming out on the other side. Greetings to everyone. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. We continue at this very point. Okay. Ebubeagu was unveiled by the zoo governors to stop the liberation of Biafra. Ebubeagu was not unveiled for the Fulani terrorist herdsmen. Ebubeagu was unveiled to come and fight the Biafra liberation. Now, there are some things to note and understand here, because the topic of this program is why are they going for Ebubeagu instead of funding Biafra liberation? The zoo terrorist government and their allies understands that after the declaration of the restoration of independence of the United States of Biafra, that the last line of fight to the liberation of Biafra is on. You understand that the next stage, the next thing that we have to do to get Biafra fully restored is the liberation. That is why they gave some of you assignment to come and attack the finance. That is why they gave some of you the assignment to come and make some of you that were contributing money to fund the liberation of Biafra to turn the money to funding Ebubeagu terrorists. Yes. International community will not take you serious if the defense of the homeland is not fully in your hands. There is no country in history that finished the declaration of their independence and then they leave the task of expunging and flushing out the remains of the terrorist existence in your land, and then you go to focus on any other thing. There is no country that have ever done this mistake. If you look at what Ambazonia have been doing, Ambazonia do more in making sure they delegitimize the existence of the Cameroonian terrorist forces, the occupational terrorists in their lands. They embark on expunging them, pushing them out of their territory. The more you push them out, the more you capture your territory. The more you push them out, the more you capture your territory. This is what the American did to the British. This is what Finland did to the Russians. This is what every other countries and nations that have fought for their freedom have done. After getting the recognition and support of your citizens from the homeland, whom you are fighting for, whom you are fighting on their behalf, as a government in exile or as a government that is standing to speak for the people, after getting the voices and the vote of the indigenous persons in your homeland, which you are fighting to represent, the next thing you need to get is the recognition and the voices of foreign nations. After the declaration of the restoration of independence United States of Biafra in Lati, the next stages that we have to face are number one, which is very, very primary. Very primary. Before you get to secondary school or university, you have to start from primary. The primary task is what? The liberation of the homeland. The liberation in the homeland so that you can get and take total control of the homeland from the occupational terrorists. You will go and talk to the international communities. You go and talk to Washington, D.C. You will talk to UK. You will talk to Russia. You will talk to Asia. You will talk to Europe. You will talk to Putin. You will talk to whoever you want to talk to. You will talk to India Amin. You will talk to Hong Kong. You will talk to Konsin. You will talk to Chin Chin. When you talk finish, they have to run a survey. The survey they have to run is to check if you are in charge of your homeland. If you have taken control of the homeland from the occupational terrorists. This is why Prime Minister said, after the declaration in Lati, we are going to go into a long battle. And this long battle, the main aim and objective is to make sure we delegitimize in full force the total existence of the remaining terrorists of one Nigeria in Biafra land. He said, it may take us years, and we can also shorten the years based on the logistics available in our hands. It is the liberation momentum in the homeland, dismembering the existence of the Zoo terrorists in Biafra land, that will make the recognition play on the international table to look pleasant. Now the question comes back to, why are some of you going to sponsor Ebubeagu instead of sponsoring the Biafra Liberation Army? It's because the enemies of Biafra, Nigerian government understands that after the declaration, the next stage, the next phase is a brutal takeover and a brutal eviction of Nigerian terrorist resistance in Biafra land. And by the time you succeed with full force of evicting the Nigerian terrorist presence in Biafra land, you have gotten control of Biafra land totally. So when you go to speak to international community, they now table their survey on the satellite and weigh in to see how far you have taken control of the homeland. They can now come to terms with you. They can now consider your chest on the table to see if they can become the king of the chest or if you can win them. Before they even have a second thought of considering playing a chess on the table with you, they have to check your results and your report card from your homeland, where you are really playing the liberation mood. So, having known this and understand this, the zoo existence and their likes decided to do what? To bring out some of you that are willing to become slaves to the destruction of lives and properties of the Biafran people. Some of you that are willing to make sure instead of us to go 100 steps forward, 100 steps forward, you take us 100 steps backward. That is why after the convention, fundraising that is done and channeled to the Biafra Defense Forces for the liberation of the homeland through one source and one way and manner and one command, you people decided to divide the house. You people decided to go and register a different group and use it as a distraction. Because the enemies of Biafra understand that the stage the Prime Minister had taken us to is the crossroad which we have already plucked the Rubicon. And we have the Rubicon in our hands. The next thing is just for us to light the rocket, and then you see Biafra blossom. Why was Ebubeagu unveiled? Let us go there. And why are you people preferring to go and fund Ebubeagu instead of funding the Biafra Liberation Army that was unveiled by the Biafran people? Why do you deviate and leave Biafra Liberation Army that was unveiled by the Biafran people to what? The protection, the defense, and the liberation of Biafra land from the invading terrorists that are coming to slaughter our women and children. Why do you now leave Biafra Liberation Army? You now start going to go and pick Ebubeagu to start funding Ebubeagu. We expose the connivance of Honorable Fulani and a group of USB Nigeria with Ebubeagu commanders. Then it was that of Caterpillar. And after that has been done, they have now understood and heard the name of Caterpillar everywhere. Now they have driven to a different name because the Caterpillar name has scampered with over 50 million naira from Ngozi Orabufulani camp. Biafra money. Useless Biafra money. The useless Biafra money. They deceive them and they bring the money out and then they use it for Ebubeagu. To those of you that are making donations to Orabufulani, here is another one. After we have exposed Caterpillar, deal with them, which Caterpillar ran away with the money, which the confessions are everywhere, and Adarama have confessed about it. We'll go to 47 have confessed about it. Many of them have confessed about it. Over 50 million naira. Today, since they don't see Caterpillar again, they have now gone for Sapele. Sapele is another Ebubeagu commander. Sapele is another Ebubeagu commander. The same way that they use Adarama to see that the news, the recruitment of Ebubeagu Caterpillar came and fly and spread all over the media. Then later when she now started speaking up, they used it against her. Today, they have gone for another Ebubeagu commander. The question is, why will they go for Ebubeagu terrorists instead of turning the money that Biafrans donate to them in to the Biafra Liberation BDF to use it in getting their logistics to expunge the terrorists? Why are they going to make use of Ebubeagu? This is Ebubeagu inauguration. I am bringing our minds back to understand the birth of Ebubeagu, the reason and why Ebubeagu came to be, who brought it and for what purpose that they brought about Ebubeagu. So I want all Biafrans to go and be asking the USB Nigeria and Honorable Fulani group, why are they so much interested in bringing Ebubeagu to come and kill Biafrans? Prime Minister Simon Ekpa with us and our Supreme Leader made ways for us to have security, to have protection, to put everything in order on the mandate of the Biafran people. And then the governors of the East, who works for One Nigeria as slave boys, on the mandate of One Nigerian terrorist government, they decided to bring up Ebubeagu. I'm going to play the video of the Ebubeagu so that you hear what the message says. They launched the Ebubeagu for a purpose of flushing out the Biafra liberation. Ebubeagu was launched for the purpose of flushing out Biafra liberation. Ebubeagu was not launched to go after the Fulani terrorist herdsmen. It was not launched to go after the terrorist herdsmen that are cutting off heads of babies, women, and children. It was unveiled specifically for what? For the attack on the Biafra liberation. So while you sleep and wake up and then you hear Caterpillar Ebubeagu being a commander of Ngozi Orawo Fulani, Sapele, now the next one that they have gone to negotiate, will go 247 is the one that they use now to do the arrangement of the meeting. Since Adarama has been on loggerheads with them now, we'll go 247 is the person now that they use as the negotiator, the person to go and arrange the meeting with Sapele. Sapele is another Ebubeagu commander. I'm giving all of you the information today. Mark it and keep it so that tomorrow when you need the information, you can remember that on the 4th of March, I did say that there is another Ebubeagu commander that they have gone to get again. Now, this getting of these Ebubeagu commanders are not to do what? Are not to help you. They are to come and destroy you. Yes, somebody said something in the comment section. Ebubeagu was created before Simon Ekpa came in and took the struggle. Fine and good. Of young edit. Ebubeagu was created before Simon Ekpa came and took the struggle. So, as Ebubeagu was created before Simon Ekpa came and took the struggle, what was the mandate of Ebubeagu? Did you even listen to the inauguration message from the person that inaugurated the Ebubeagu to hear what he spelled out? Is it when Ebubeagu was inaugurated that is the issue, or the mandate of Ebubeagu? Simon Ekpa did not start the struggle. The struggle has existed since Owazirike. The struggle transcended into Nnamdi Kanu since 2012. Simon Ekpa was not in the struggle since 2012. Simon Ekpa was not in the struggle since 2015. We just came in yesterday when they call us COVID-19 freedom fighters. Yes. Now, when was Ebubeagu unveiled? And when was ESN unveiled? What was the purpose of unveiling ESN? Then you will come to understand why they later came to create Ebubeagu. They came to create Ebubeagu because they see that ESN were making exploit against the terrorist invaders. So they came and decided to create Ebubeagu as a counter force. It was Meeti Hala that advised that the Zoo terrorist governors of the East must create a counter security group to counter what? To counter the Biafra Eastern Security Network. Because they saw that their terrorist foot soldiers were being taken off the lands of Biafra on a daily basis. The same way that you see today that Gumi advocated that the Zoo governors in the East should recruit more of the Biafran boys and sisters and girls and use them to fight Biafra, is the exact thing that they have done again this time in the Biafra liberation. In the Biafra liberation today, the money that people are supposed to use to make Biafra to go to the next stage, they are now using money to go and start recruiting and paying Ebubeagu terrorists to come and fight the same Biafra that they had claimed to be fighting all this while. Now, our Supreme Leader said something in the video I played earlier. And the message goes like this.
Yes. You are right.
Because when it starts happening, I will tell you on the 30th of May 2019 at Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so.
Yes.
Spirit in human
If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
As long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed. I want to ask all of you today, have you remained determined and focused on the Biafran mandate that Onyendu started and the Prime Minister started? Have you remained focused and resolute and formidable on it? Have you? No, you have not. He said, for as long as we remain resolute and focused on it, the terrorists will never succeed. As long as we remain resolute and determined, the terrorists will never succeed. I want to show you people that you have not remained resolute. You have not remained focused on the ball, which was to have been after the declaration. Every effort and power and strength goes to the liberation in the homeland. We put all our energy to fund the liberation army from one source, as it was instituted before now. But after the convention, some of you decided not to remain resolute. Some of you decided to start bringing power tussle. You started bringing power in your head that you want to make yourself the deputy prime minister. You want to make yourself the deputy PM. You want to be the deputy head of state. You want to register a new group of your own. That what prime minister was doing was evil. Now you see that you have arrived. You started coming with propaganda and blackmail and slander first to destroy the mindsets of others that are supposed to come to one fold and make donations for us to go far. See, Ebubeagu was created before Simon Ekpa came into the Biafran struggle, according to this Young edit here. But did he allow Ebubeagu to breathe after he came into the struggle? No, because Ebubeagu is a terrorist declared and unveiled by the zoo governors against the Biafran people. He identified them and he did not allow them to breathe. So why are you people now giving breathing air to Ebubeagu now? Why is Ngozi going to now recruit Ebubeagu to make them love boys and girls? Prime Minister, when he was here, Biafrans never allowed Ebubeagu to breathe. They did not give Ebubeagu food. They went to make sure any Ebubeagu terrorist that arises, they are taking off the way of killing our babies, women, and children. But at this very point, you people are actually the one taking over 50 million naira to go and give Ebubeagu. You go and recruit Ebubeagu against the Biafran Liberation Army. And then when Onyendu said, if you remain resolute, they will not succeed. The terrorists will not succeed. Yet, you come out to come and cry when you have not remained resolute. Because of your no resoluteness, you have seen the results coming out of your sarcastic mindset of what you have done.
Never. If you stop now agitating for Biafra, I know you have not come with your pen and paper because I'm not on air.
We do.
At Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so.
Yes.
Spirit in human
If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no.
As long as we remain determined and focused, all of you have lost focus. Your focus is no more on the mandate and principles of the Biafra Liberation Forces. Mbano. Your focus now are on how to become the leader. How to become the leader is what all of you have in your heads now. how to become the leader. It's not how to remain focused and resolute. Oyendu's message as sacred. If you remain focused and resolute, you will overcome these terrorists. Now, because of you not remaining focused and resolute on the ball, you have allowed Ebubeagu terrorists to now become your soldiers. And your women are coming out now to cry. They are crying on the same Ebubeagu who are walking in line with the Fulani herdsmen.
No way they will ever succeed.
No way will they ever succeed if you are like this. If you all remain resolute and fight for unity of purpose. By the time some of you prefers to destroy Prime Minister, you hit your chest and say, instead of you to bow down to the instruction of Prime Minister, to fall back to BRGIE, that you would rather take the money to go and fund Ebubeagu. Who are you doing? Are you doing Sonny? Or are you doing Okenkere? Are you doing the Prime Minister? Are you doing the Biafran people? You are doing the Biafran people. You are not doing Sonny. You are not doing Prime Minister. You are not doing Okenkere. See, if some of you likes, you obey the instruction of the Prime Minister. If you don't like, you ignore the instruction of the Prime Minister. But remember that it is not the Prime Minister that you are doing all these things. It is not Sonny that you are doing all these things. It is not Okenkere. It is not the BRGIE. BRGIE is just the name of the government. The officials of BRGIE as Biafrans makes up BRGIE. But there is something sacred. The souls and spirit of the Biafrans in the homeland, whom because of your stupidity and wickedness, will lead them to their early graves in the hands of the Fulani terrorists. The liberation forces will not use their saliva to get their logistics. If the money that is supposed to be sent to them is now channeled to Ebubeagu, to go and fund Ebubeagu, do you expect the liberation forces to use their saliva or sand to get logistics to fight the terrorists? No. When the terrorists will come, they will overrun your communities. Who will be losing? Is it the liberation forces? Nah, not the liberation forces that will be losing. It is you that will be losing, thinking that you are doing the Prime Minister with your stubbornness and stupidity, or thinking that you are doing Sonny or you are doing Okenkere. Every nation that have finished the Declaration of Independence, the next line of action is to see that they embark on the total eviction, total delegitimization of the existence of the occupational terrorists of the former country that are in their land. And this is what I have been shouting after the convention, that we have a common enemy, we have a common problem, and that common problem is the liberation of the homeland. If you don't liberate the homeland and have control of it, you cannot talk of establishing laws. You cannot talk of implementing the constitution that we adopted in Helsinki or in Lati. You cannot talk of bringing out laws that will govern the people. Will the people be governed in exile? Will the people now have banks that will be working in exile? Will the people now have currencies that will be running in exile? Will the people now have court system that will be running in exile? Will the people now have a policing system that will be running in exile? Will they run a custom services that will be running in exile? Will they run immigration services that will be running in exile? Will they run a customary system that will be running in exile? Will they run policies that will only reign and stay in exile? You need your sovereignty in the homeland. You need to be in control of your homeland. The only way to achieve this, it is through the liberation of the homeland. This is why those that are taking Biafra money, standing on the way, turning your heads upside down, calling you to come and donate money for them to use to recruit Ebubeagu commanders. This is the reason why they understand that Biafra remains just one level for us to get to the final point. That is why they have come and attack the liberation mood. The liberation mood, the liberation level is where we are now. That is why you see this attack on the finance coming. Because they know when the liberation mood is streamlined and everybody go with one force and in one direction, all the donations are going through one source. The liberation in the homeland will get to gear 100. You will sit down today and hear that so place in the homeland where the zoo terrorists of Nigeria are occupying have been dislodged. Tomorrow, before you sleep and wake up, you hear that another place have been dislodged. Tomorrow, you hear that another place have been dislodged. Tomorrow, you hear that another place have been dislodged. Gradually, we are taking over gradually. Before you know it, we have taken over 1/3 of Biafra land from the hands of the occupational terrorists. Those that are coming to destroy your minds, to tell you that they are the ones in charge, that BRGIE is not the government, that they have to register a new government. This is the secret that they understand. They understand that the secret of the success of the Biafra liberation in the next phase is the final stage of the Biafra sovereignty, which will gain you the recognition. This is why they are fighting it. So if you are a willing tool, if you have made yourself a servant to this very cause of being used by the enemies of Biafra, know that you are actually fighting against the liberation in the homeland. Know that you are fighting against the over 80 million Biafrans that are in the homeland, suffering and facing the brunt of one Nigeria for years. And there is a very important message from Oyendo. If we stop what we are doing now, our people will die. If we stop what we are doing now, our people will die. If we stop what we are doing now, our women and children will be wailing on a daily basis in the hands of the Fulani terrorists. Those you have in abroad will not have a home to come back to. So it is time to stop the play.
Never. If you stop now agitating for Biafra, those you left back home will die.
Yes. Never. Truth.
I know you have not come with your pen and paper because I'm not on air.
We do.
I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. If you stop what you're doing, our people will die.
Yes. You're right. You're right.
Because when it starts happening, I will tell you on the 30th of May 2019 at Martin Luther King Jr. Center in Atlanta, I told you so.
Yes.
Spirit in human
If you stop now, your children will never go home. And as long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they will ever succeed.
As long as we remain determined and focused, there is no way they can ever succeed. Have you been determined and focused since after the convention? No! You have not been determined and focused. And because of your inability and stubbornness of not being determined and focused, it has led to these women and children that you see wailing here in Enugu. Are you happy? You must be happy. Look at them.
And then they had I have Bundu. Fulani. Okay. They come to Roger. Bundu, get a routine, blank,
Have you been determined and resolute? Oyendu said, as long as you remain determined and resolute, the Fulani terrorists would not succeed in killing a Biafran. But because you have not been determined, focused, and resolute to continue on what will expunge and stop every Fulani terrorist from entering one part of Biafra land, the money that you should have resolutely sent to the liberation forces to get logistics and fight the terrorists, you now send the money to Ebubeagu. You are the one funding Ebubeagu now to have their two legs on ground. But yet, when you see videos like this, all of you will share.
This is women on the demonstrating the feelings, the devastations that the Fulani headers has caused in Hamuku. You can see them crying, you can see them lamenting, you can see them weeping. They are bitter. Their husbands have been killed, their children have been killed, their farms have been destroyed. They have nowhere to run to. They are crying to government to come to their rescue. Here they blocked roads and they say no vehicle will pass until there will be a government intervention. Now they have a sitting governor, they have sitting government who has never cared about the level of devastations, about the killings going on in the Hamufu. And the questions in their lip is, do they still have government that cares, that are concerned about their plight? Who in Nigeria has not heard that the Hamufu has been devastated? People have been sacked from their homes, farmlands destroyed, houses burnt, women raped, men killed in their numbers, and yet nothing has been done about it. And today they decided to come out to do this peaceful demonstration, to cry and say, if government will not hear them, may the God of heaven hear their cry and intervene.
Many of you are happy, right? Many of you are happy because the Biafra Liberation fundraising that you are supposed to do to channel to the liberation forces in the homeland to combat the terrorists in one fold. You divided it into 70:30%. You take 70%, you go and give to Ebubeagu terrorists. And the Ebubeagu terrorists use the money to finance the Fulani Islamic jihadist terrorists, who in turn comes into these communities and kill at random. Then, the rest of you now sit on the fence, thinking that Sonny will become a failure, that Prime Minister will become a failure, that Okenkere will become a failure. Prime Minister, mind you, is in detention. He is not dead. He is not. Blood is still flowing in his veins. He set up precept and precedent of how Biafra land can be defended, how Biafra land can be protected against the terrorists and the assailants. But in his absence, all of you decided to carry the money that should have gone to the Biafran government for the liberation of the homeland. You decided to go and give it to Ngozi to use it and fund Ebubeagu. Now, the way these women and children are wailing and crying, you are clapping, you are happy. Your own is to use it to make videos so that you can get money. Tomorrow, you will see many of the bloggers, those that even claim to have been very staunch Biafran supporters of Biafran government. They will make videos with this and say, Yamufu has been taken over by Fulani terrorists. So Yamufu is in the hands of Fulani terrorists. So the first question you should ask yourself is, since Prime Minister was called for interrogation and detained, since you see that the Yamufu is in the hand of Fulani terrorists as you claim, but yet you still see these human beings coming out from the same Yamufu to do the protest. If Yamufu was totally deserted, at least these human beings wouldn't still be alive now, Abi. All of them, they don't quite finish. If Yamufu was totally deserted, we wouldn't have seen anybody to protest. Okay, let us come back to reality. You seeing that the Yamufu is on rampage the way you claim and say it. What have you done to help the Biafra Liberation Army to destroy the terrorists? Is it by making video to go viral online, where everybody will watch and then you collect money at the end of the month from your social media? And then you will be asking those that say they are in charge of the defense, those that say they are in charge of the men on ground, what are they doing to Iyamufu? But you that is making such video, you cannot post the flyer of the Biafra Liberation fundraising. You cannot open your platform and spend 3 hours, talk to Biafrans and educate them, both home and abroad, that they all have to bring out their tithe and offering and come to the Biafran government BRGIE fundraising and support, so that this money can be used to channel to the liberation in the homeland, to defend the homeland. You cannot join the same fundraising. You cannot even pay up your channel to stream out the fundraising. You cannot identify yourself with the fundraising of the Biafran government. You cannot come and support. You cannot come and televise it. You cannot create your time to create awareness for the fundraising. You cannot come and speak to Biafrans and say, Biafrans, we know we have existential threat, we have a common problem, yet there are quagmires around us because we are this kind of people that are very stubborn. But yet, the right thing to do is for you to come and make your donations through the BRGIE. Channel every donation to this point. Some of you that have big platforms, the best thing that you could do when Prime Minister was detained is for you to come out and say, you want Biafra government to come and buy your platform and pay you money. Yes. You want Biafra government to come and pay you money for platform, for social media platform, for YouTube and for Facebook accounts, because it is the money that you need. It has never been the Biafra liberation or freedom that you are fighting for. So while Biafrans are dying, and while Prime Minister is in detention, while Onyendu is in detention, that is when you want to come and sell platform and make money and then go and sleep. Then when you see that people have been massacred, you now come back to come and be doing program and be asking. Those of you that say you are in charge of the men on ground, what are you doing with the money? Ask yourself first the question, what are you doing with your platform? How are you creating the Biafra awareness to all these people to know where to go and make the donation? How are you making your stand for them to know that the right thing to do is to come and join the BRGIE and create awareness and then educate everybody, let them know the right thing to do. Come and make your donation and put it in one purse. Is it when the fire is burning, you run to go and hide? And then when you see that there is light at the tunnel, you run back to come and carry the first lantern, and you start shouting, I am pointing the lantern, oh, I am pointing the lantern, oh. Fundraising, you cannot join. Your platform, you cannot use it to televise the fundraising. You cannot even use 3 hours or 4 hours or even 10 minutes or 20 minutes to do a program advertising and promoting the fundraising flyer or fundraising that is coming up or town hall meeting, thereby inviting everybody to come over and join the fundraising when it is time, which will in turn garner more audience, bring more participation, and bring everyone to one fold. We all have roles to play. But when you now think that you have to stand on defense, then when babies and children and women are massacred, you now come and start shouting, you are a bunkum. You are contributing no factor. You are as worst as Ngozi Fulani, who is actually deceiving some Biafrans, collecting money from them, and then using the money to go and recruit Ebubeagu. You are one and the same thing. You are even worse than her. Because you that stand and see that they are planning evil, and you cannot call evil evil. You cannot tell people, don't go here because it is evil. You are making a very big mistake. Onyendu said, for as long as you remain resolute and focused on this Biafran mandate, it will be impossible for these terrorists to massacre your women and children and go scot-free. But because you did not remain resolute, because you decided to shift the table which Prime Minister kept and arranged, you wanted to form your own government when the Prime Minister is not dead. Another question that Biafrans should ask your Honorable Fulani woman that is taking your Biafran money to Ebubeagu, the question you should ask is, if you claim to answer DPM USB Nigeria, Prime Minister, on hearing all this saga, can't even place a call to you, but he can place calls to some of us. No be juju be that. He sent the first message through the attorney. You call the attorney criminal. You call the attorney miscreant. All manner of names you have called the attorney. Every message he sent, you call the attorney criminal. Now, the Prime Minister that you claim and you are using his name, that said, stop using my name because what you're doing is stalking my release. He cannot send message to you directly. He cannot also call you, but can call other people. Those of you following the Mburumiri woman, you cannot ask her this hard question. Why is it that Prime Minister has confidence in every other person and can call and send messages direct to them, but cannot call you, who is impersonating him, who is claiming to be the Deputy Prime Minister that does not exist? The Deputy Prime Minister, which made herself a Deputy Prime Minister by herself alone, without anybody voting her into any position. Why is it that the Prime Minister cannot call you as he has called other people, or send message direct to you as he has sent to other people? Do you know why? One, from the betrayals of trust, Prime Minister cannot call you. Those Prime Ministers have called and sent messages through. The messages are confidential and not meant for public usage. And they have confidentially kept the promises to those messages, because if they take it to public, it is going to be used against the Prime Minister in court. The few messages that Prime Minister have sent to you through his attorney, you have brought it to the social media already. And that makes what? That makes a breach of confidentiality. The message that the attorney communicated to you privately and said, this is a one-on-one communication that I had with PM. He instructed me to tell you this. You brought that message and blew it down there in the media on Twitter. Tell me. And then you are using his official letterhead and his official seal of office and stamp, and on behalf of the Prime Minister, somebody that is standing trial, and you are impersonating the person. You did not just stop there. Every structure that is set up, you came and counseled. Prime Minister build, you destroy. Prime Minister build, you destroy. Prime Minister build, you destroy. You destroy, you destroy. The IOU loan that Biafran people unveiled on his mandate, you destroy. You say IOU loan is a scam. The Biafra Defense Force headquarters that was unveiled in Helsinki 2023, you came out and said they are kidnappers, they are criminals, they are fraudulent. It doesn't represent you. You are going to do your own recruitment. Your own recruitment that you went to do landed where? Landed in Ebubeagu recruitment. It is Ebubeagu that you now go to recruit. You did not see any other young man in the Biafran region to regroup them and send them for training. The only people that you saw were Ebubeagu. 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 Prime Minister did not tell Biafran people that they have to go and work with Ebubeagu. The zoo governors created Ebubeagu. But what did you do? In your own time, you went to go and bring Ebubeagu to come and fight Biafra Liberation Forces. All of you are causing the problems that you find yourselves today, that these women here find themselves today. Those of you in America, Europe, UK, that are funding Ngozi Ebubeagu fundraising, you are the ones putting these women in this predicament. Because if you don't deviate the money that is meant for the Biafra liberation to Ngozi to use it for Ebubeagu recruitment, these women will not be willing here. And you think that you are doing Sonny? You'll be using Sonny's name to do broadcasts, to put his name as criminal, traitor. Do you now see what you have done to these women? You expect the Biafra Liberation Forces to use saliva to go and fight the terrorists, right? While over 50 million naira was taken to Ebubeagu, and 80 million naira was used for propaganda marching by Ngozi Orabofulani USB group. They prefer to fund Ebubeagu and make useless with the money of Biafra than to put in the money into the Biafran government for us to use the money and fight the terrorists that are actually fighting our women and children. Can you see the irony that surrounds these people?
Life is a process. No matter how you go about it. Mazi Okechukwu Omale Chanwoke, the Biafran Republic Government and Exile Finance Minister, is humbly campaigning for global Biafran financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafran Defense Forces, and redeclaration-related activities. I appreciate all Biafrans who have been supporting our liberation movement.
Thank you. We must continue because we have to go with speed. Now, let me play the video of the Ebubeagu. This is Ebubeagu unveiled in 2021. Ebubeagu was unveiled by the zoo governors. Umahi unveiled Ebubeagu. Umahi unveiled Ebubeagu on the 22nd of December 2021. Umahi unveiled Ebubeagu. Umahi unveiled Ebubeagu. Now, I want you to listen to the message from Umai, the reason of unveiling Ebubeagu, and why Ebubeagu must come to be. So those of you that are embracing Ebubeagu today and using Ebubeagu to fight the Biafra liberation, I want to remind you the purpose which Ebubeagu was unveiled. For you to know that you are not doing anything that has anything aligned with the mandate of the Biafran people. Everything that you are doing is for the Zoo terrorist government. The Zoo terrorist government and their mandate is what you guys are doing. Umahi will explain to you from this video the reason and the purpose which they unveiled Ebubeagu. That it is to come and fight and expunge everybody that are in the bushes fighting the terrorist Fulani Islamic Jihad. Who are those in the bushes that were fighting to expunge the terrorist Fulani Islamic Jihad? It was the ESN. ESN were unveiled as a child of necessity to expunge and sweep off the Fulani terrorists that were in Biafra lands, that were cutting off heads of babies, women, and children of Biafra. I remember Onyendu calling on all these evil elders and governors and ministers and told them they should set up a security network to combat the terrorist menace in Biafra land. And what did they reply, Onyendu? They told Onyendu that Onyendu is in abroad, that Onyendu knows nothing about the way they are running their politics in the homeland, that Onyendu should not decide for them, Onyendu should not advise them, Onyendu should not even tell them what they should do, that Onyendu should focus in abroad, that he knows nothing about the security or the day-to-day running of their politics in the homeland. And the massacre of Biafrans continued until Onyendu saw that there is need for us to take a swift action. That is how you all slept and saw that ESN was unveiled in December 2020. Yes. And when these people saw that Onyendu had unveiled ESN for Biafran people, and Biafran people are working with the ESN to destroy the terrorists that have come to kill their women and children, pastors and bishops of the homeland were testifying of the good work of ESN. We still have the videos of Father Mbaka singing the praises of ESN, who are fighting the terrorists to make sure they disappear from our lands, and that our women and children and he himself was able to now make his farm produce without the disturbance and distractions and problems of the Fulani terrorists. So, to be able to demean the effectiveness of the ESN, to be able to demean the effectiveness of the Biafran People's Security Network, these evil slave boys gathered on the order of the Fulani government from Abuja and decided to unveil Ebubeagu. The sole aim of unveiling Ebubeagu was to come and fight the Biafra liberation, not to come and fight the terrorists. Ebubeagu was unveiled on the mandate of coming to do what? Target the Biafra liberation. Anyone that is standing out to defend the Biafran people, the work of Ebubeagu was to make sure they take the person down. I want all of you to listen to the inauguration and the reason why Ebubeagu was unveiled. Then you now ask Ngozi Orabufulani with a group of USB Nigeria, why they will now take Biafra money to go and fund this Ebubeagu instead of funding the Biafra Liberation BDF. Now, I want you people to listen very attentively so that you will pick point by point to understand and know why Ebubeagu was unveiled and to what purposes. So that when you see somebody that is going to recruit Ebubeagu and use Ebubeagu to fight against the Biafran people, you know where that person is standing. Before we continue, I am going to play the voice of Caterpillar Ebubeagu commander, where he is advising Ngozi. After I play it, I will also play Adarama's argument and confirmation. We do go 247. Yes. Confirming about that they, Ngozi Orabufulani, recruited Ebubeagu. And thereafter, I will now come to conclude with this message of who? Dave Umahi. When you will now hear Dave Umahi speak, you will now know the conclusion part. Now listen to Caterpillar advising Ngozi Orabufulani. He will even be telling you that all the men that have led Biafra liberation, that they are criminals. So that means Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. Ojukwu is a criminal. Philippe is a criminal. Ife Juna is a criminal. Ajuzie is a criminal. Nnamdi Azikiwe is a criminal. Obozi is a criminal. Prime Minister is a criminal. Wazirike is a criminal. According to Caterpillar, advising Ngozi, this is when he was giving her these vibes so that she can be able to release the over 50 million naira to him. And today, they cannot find him again with the money. So listen to the advice he was giving to Ngozi. Thereafter, I will play the confirmation message of Ugo and Adarama confirming it also. Then we will come back to who? Ebubeagu inauguration by Dave Umahi. So that you connect the dots and understand when we are saying those funding Ebubeagu, they are doing it on the mandate of making sure that the next stage and the next phase of the liberation of Biafra, after the declaration of the restoration of independence in Lati, does not go in a streamline, because the next stage should have been very brutal, which is the eviction of the remaining terrorists and existence of one Nigeria in Biafra land. But they have to start bringing up all these things, Ebubeagu, to come and go in and start killing people and mix up so that distraction will come. The finance will now enter in chaos, where the Biafra liberation forces will not have enough logistics to be able to go and do their work. And this will now dampen the effect of the liberation. It will keep us stuck in one place. We will not go forward, we will not come back. Listen.
Onye na n'oli awo, Commander Caterpillar. There were some certain things we need to understand in this movement, if we make mistake, and we need to correct ourselves very fast. That is a reality. That is a reality. Make mistake, correct yourself, because we are human beings, we are not God. Imagine and the girl is that in any time urban and wine put a see on one of the struggle, a mother to Ebubeagu. And I'm working in so I have forgotten that none of them are just a criminal. They're just using us. You know, my even men know every day because of Biafra. That nobody is asking about them. Nobody is asking anything about them. If I know na akọbụ akọrọje ebe a na-azọ ọkwa, but all of us are fighting for one thing. Let me tell you. And when there's another na ya agbụpụcha ihe tụtụrụ ya gbụrụ ya, iya agbụpụcha ihe mana ife na ya ahụ gbụpụrụ ihe eziokwu tụtụrụ ya tinye n'ọnụ. I'm a that kind of person. I don't know why I get Biafra, we follow him, follow her. Follow her bomber to bomber. Because I'm seeing that some people is out of breeding. Okay, what the Biafra? And we're going to Zora ala. Zabarute Mahazora ala. I see a pose of the Tala before it's over there. A pose of Zabute, Manezotabala. A pose of Zawa Quag and Biafra land when they want to be Biafra. Because of one and then you need to lose some people. You need to see some people now, but I'm promised to bring peace to them. I have thank God that I have talking to some people. They are seeing reason on me. Let us be together is not a sin. If you don't want to be together, you step aside. The people want to be together, continue. This is a freedom. This is a fight. And this is not Nena Baranwa. Biafra will go Nena Baranwa. I did them mother and so Ngozi Ohabeze, you are our sister, and we are your brother. We are the one that fighting this struggle. We are the one GC Arombo. And you want some your people Busaraga name enemy. But I'm an enemy name. Please, the mother. I want you to keep it up. Don't look for anybody. Don't listen. Don't be gossip. Because also certain things bring spoil. Or you're able to problem in this thing. Don't look for anybody. Don't be ndembo. Even make your own pattern better than Simon says. Be the great. Be the hero. On your Biafra, I support. Because I cannot be a place which you will say, let's keep him quiet. That's why I love Fulanis. If they want to do something, they do it. Before Gapata. This is time, let us do that in Gapata. Please, as you are a pilot us well. Pilot our brothers well. Pilot our sisters.
That is Caterpillar giving her advice. And money was released, over 50 million naira. And now he has disappeared, is nowhere to be found. He said in that video, the men that have laid us before are criminals, which is our Onyendu, Wazirike, and Prime Minister.
PM mele spell or DPM unukunu. So I go see ebe PM mele spell. Olutato wakwa go dem with the 40 state of Biafra and everybody can walk. Ya we Ebubeagu je na walk in 40 state of Biafra. Ndubuko I na condemn na Nigeria. Na-eme recruit ndị Boko Haram so na dependent the Boko Haram tinyebe na army ebedataba anyị Igbo na-agbagbusi ahụ na Ebubeagu awụrụkwu onye dependent Ebubeagu ebotibe na defense ndị Igbo ekenekwe m ebe PM mere spell ebe DPM unu kwuru so anyị gosi ebe PM mere spell olutato ọgbakwago na enwere 40 state of Biafra and everybody can walk. Ya we Ebubeagu je na walk in 40 state of Biafra. Ndubuko I na condemn na Nigeria na-eme recruit ndị Boko Haram so na dependent the Boko Haram tinyebe na army ebedataba anyị Igbo na-agbagbusi ahụ na Ebubeagu awụrụkwu onye dependent Ebubeagu ebotibe na defense ndị Igbo ekenekwe m ebe PM mere spell.
Now, you listen to that, right? Let me play another one.
Can I finish here with your voice?
Was contracted to go and stop them. Caterpillar went to Amufu. This Caterpillar on the matter, Caterpillar is illegal. Caterpillar, if not for Caterpillar,
hey,
the healing.
Hey! Hey!
This is what so many people don't know.
Hey!
And this and that Orama don't even know. All she knows is that somebody told her that Caterpillar is now back. And she carry it.
Let me tell you something. We go 247. Before Caterpillar joined, the first time I call Caterpillar, on a message Caterpillar leave, which I have the message. I'm gonna play here. I still have that message. The first telephone communication Caterpillar have with you no one. Kita kama Amado Musef and then men kwacha safe no defense minister. According to one defense. I have the message. Caterpillar leave. From bank and no man. Caterpillar is coming back. I just keep quiet and watching. The first contact unna Caterpillar ngwele winye Caterpillar ego koje go ngwogo. Kwari na ngwele men. For how long? For how many days? No one know what take yo. Caterpillar no but nowhere to find Caterpillar again. And I put Caterpillar na phone go deliver. Nobody sick. We got 247. But what's up? Who got 247? And that's a good mechikwa. Oh, won't be anything in my. In an even now, Waggy. Oh, yeah, Papa Takaragu, they make a mistake. I'm a man. Why is that you can't use it in there? Ada pipe low. Ada, cool down. Ada, I'm breaking them. No matter the pain, swallow many things. Ada, please. Adandibo, Adandembanandek. No matter the pain, please calm down. Calm down, Ada. Calm down. For Batobie, calm down. Nem, calm down. Kind of negligent.
Oh, Caterpillar. She don't even know what Caterpillar came to do.
You see?
Caterpillar is not coming to take anybody's position. Government of Nigeria contracted so many people to come and fight against Biafra. Does that make them Nigeria army?
You see? You see? Somebody Caterpillar bulu mazi by wo mazi. Western Security Network ebu. Put on social media now black. onwere ife this guy emero ebe nwere ụmụazị dị out ugo 247 no gbakpu ozo ugo nwanne m asị gị gbakpu ozo ugo nwanne m asị gị gbakpu ezi nwanne m asịkwa gị gbakpu ozo ugo nwanne m gbakpu ozo ezi nwanne m ezukwe ike ezi nwanne m njeje mba ugo chukwu asịrị gị gbakpuo ugo 247 ugo asọpọtụkwa na alụ ụmụazị a katapila gburu kedu ife ihe agwafa na asọpọtụ the government ụmụazị Eastern Security Network this man gburu ugo 247 na o nwere nke egburu nke ikpeazụ egburu Galavila ha gburu nala ego enyere ya jee zụta ife ugo 247 katapila wee gbuo this guy ya na ife ọnwụ biko pụta na social media na-eti boya ọbata obi ugo 247 dibịa gbawala na ị nwere ike ịpụta wee mepee ọnụ somebody ọbata obi emele spell in life kwafula ọbara ụmụnne gị gburu ndị sọpọtụrụ ụmụazị wepụtara onwefa to defend their land kezi I can go to 247
Government of Nigeria contracted Asari Tokobo boys to come and fight in the kidnap and they harvest innocent citizens in Biafra. Does that make them Nigeria army?
You see the one of the people got 247 nebu. So na caterpillar buo nke fọrọ na ebuo onye make caterpillar to Biafra Liberation Army. So hey I don't know what to do and I don't know what to say. So Ugo 247 yeah, we even amazing about caterpillar kaba use onya ba use cha ba dump onya onu chazi oguno ya mufu or dump onya say get out because of the igbulu ndị mmadụ. Yeah, wuzi caterpillar need money. He need money. And that money, we've ordered after to scam and go. And if you meet these people, Caterpillar is an Ebubeagu man. Ebubeagu. No, each of Caterpillar, we wouldn't know you are joining. Now this in the operation Udoga because I'm black on. Caterpillar is an Anambla black on a atrocity. Abomination ya Anambla ko kalamie. Oh, now go 247. Push you too much. I will bring out voice. Ndi no lo go. Mambeba no ni membeba kana abana ya walk. Ugo 247 no amakomunye popotarake. Mana let me tell you something. That government in HNA like it. Na ko very good though. For you to come out here and talk on you are not doing the government good. Amakwa no gwa nwere ike itoge echekwe niwe ndabi ndawi ebelebe gbuo odo akpu enyo bata bie over 50 million Kenya the caterpillar nowhere to find the caterpillar. And I cried out, and I shout, and I scream. No, you bro. Nobody listened to me. Over 50 million. Over 50 million. Over 50 million. Kenya the caterpillar. Nowhere to find the caterpillar. And I cried out, and I shout, and I scream. No, you bro.
Now that you have had the confirmation, so that you will not say Sonny made it up now, I want to now go and play the inauguration video of Ebubeagu now.
It's been made.
You will now hear Ebubeagu, real commander, that unveiled Ebubeagu, telling you the objective of what Ebubeagu was created for. Then after now, you go and ask Ngozi Orabo-Fulani, how come you are now going to take Ebubeagu that was recruited and launched and unveiled by the governors of one Nigerian terrorist and carry Biafra money to go and give them? Listen to the Ebubeagu real commander that unveiled Ebubeagu here.
See these very gallant men and women that are members of the Southeast Security Outfit Ebonyi State Command. Let me say before now, we've always had vigilantes called the Neighborhood Watch. And when our people insisted that we must have uniformity in our local cities, I can say that over 60% of the governors have assented to this Ebubeagu law. Ebonyi State was the second to do this, and the first was Imo State. And that is the law of the state on Ebubeagu passed by the State House of Assembly. Will not fold their hands. We have extended only branch to all our youths that are in the bush.
We have extended olive branch to all our youth that are in the bushes. Listen very well, oh. This was unveiled after ESN was unveiled to comb the terrorists in the bushes. When Soludo came, you heard Soludo said, those in the bushes, I have reached out to them to come and lay down their arms and take amnesty. He said, I have negotiated with the IPOB DOS, and they said they are not part of the criminals. He said they have laid down their arms and they are working with him. Now, listen to Omai. Omai is telling you we cannot fold our arms and watch the youth, those in the bushes, who claims they have been deceived to be fighting for Biafra. Who are those that were in the bushes? Were ESN in your houses? No. ESN were unveiled to be in your bushes to comb the terrorists. The Biafra Liberation Army today that was unveiled in Helsinki in 2024, they are not in the houses, in the communities where you are sleeping, enjoying yourself. They are in the bushes, in the cold, watching to keep Biafra land safe from the terrorists.
By the State House of Assembly. This will not fold their hands. We have extended only branch to all our youths that are in the bush, being brainwashed.
The bush being brainwashed. That all the youth that are in the bushes that are being brainwashed. So they describe ESN then as youth that are in the bushes being brainwashed about Biafra, being brainwashed about the Fulani terrorists that came to cut off heads of our babies and women and children. You all know the story that surrounds the emergence of Eastern Security Network. So, Ebubeagu was unveiled to go after and destroy Eastern Security Network, and also as Eastern Security Network later metamorphosed into the Biafra Liberation Army, their sole aim and objective is to see that they bring them down. Somebody that is going to recruit Ebubeagu terrorists to come and fight the Biafra liberation today, what is the objective of that person?
Not fold their hands. We have extended only branch to all our youths that are in the bush, being brainwashed. The governors of Southeast are bound to empower them and to turn them to a more useful members of our society.
These are the same words and pronouncements that Soluno made, that they offer amnesty to Eastern Security Network, that they should leave the bushes and then come out and join them. Yes. So those that accepted went out to go and join the Ebubeagu and become the Ebubeagu. Those that knew what Biafra meant, they continued to defend Biafra land against the terrorists. So those that went to join the Ebubeagu now became terrorists against the Eastern Security Network and the Biafra Liberation Army today. Those that went to join the Ebubeagu now are now working with the Zoo terrorist government. The Fulani Islamic jihadis that marches in to come and cut heads of babies and women to pieces. You sleep and wake up, you see dead bodies in Imo State and Enugu, in Uli, and you were crying. You're not asking, how come? Who lead them to your houses? How do they know that these houses are only domiciled by Biafrans? Why didn't they go to houses of fellow Muslims like them? No. It is the work of the Ebubeagu who are working with them that made it possible. Today, you people are making donations to give Ngozi Fulani, and she's using it to fund the same Ebubeagu. You have had the two videos that I played here, confirmations from left, right, center, that they are using the fundraising donation that they are making to go and fund Ebubeagu instead of sending the money to Biafra Liberation Forces.
And so I want to warn that Ebubeagu is not there to fight any illegal or legal organization, but is there to assist the police to rout out criminals. And
Ebubeagu is there to assist the police, the terrorists of one Nigeria in uniforms. Remember that anything carrying weapon in Biafra land, we have declared them terrorists. Biafran people have declared them terrorists. Yes. Because they are carrying the weapons to come and kill Biafrans. Because what they do is that they use the weapons to extort and kill and maim Biafrans on the way, in their houses, in their communities, and everywhere they go. So, the sole aim of Ebubeagu, from what you hear their commander, is to assist the Zoo terrorist government to make sure you don't breathe. As far as you call Biafra, you don't breathe.
To deal with them according to the law of Nigeria.
To deal with them according to the laws of Nigeria, because they have to promote Nigeria. You see, those that are recruiting Ebubeagu with Biafra money, they are empowering Nigerian terrorist government to slaughter you. Listen up, to make the law of Nigeria to have a stand against your life.
We have only one constitution, and anybody operating outside that constitution is operating illegally.
Ebubeagu is upholding the Constitution of 99 Constitution of Nigeria. The 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, Ebubeagu is upholding it. Ebubeagu is standing to defend the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria. So everything that has to do Nigeria is what Ebubeagu is working for. Ebubeagu is not to defend you as a Biafran, but to defend Nigeria. So those that went to carry Biafra money to go and recruit Ebubeagu and give Ebubeagu, the Ebubeagu commanders have collected the money and scamper. Now they have gone for another Ebubeagu commander, Sapele. I'm just reminding you to know the duties and the works and the purposes of Ebubeagu commanders. That the Ebubeagu will not unveil for you. The Ebubeagu will unveil for one Nigeria, to kill anything Biafra. anything that will arise and speak Biafra, Ebubeagu is to do what? Kill them.
And the law does not allow that. It is therefore my...
The law of Nigeria does not allow you to breathe, so Ebubeagu must take you off.
My pleasure, to the glory of God and to great appreciation of all those working with me, the ESCO members, the House of Assembly members, the Judiciary, Elders Council, Founding Fathers, Local Government Council, the security agencies, especially the police, and the good people of Ebonyi State, to launch Southeast Security Outfit called Ebubeagu, Ebonyi State Command, to the glory of God. I wish you all amen. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Yes, Ebubeagu is back in Ebonyi State. God bless you. Thank you.
This is how Ebubeagu came to be. Umai unveiled Ebubeagu. Ebubeagu came to breathe. And today, some of you are now promoting Ebubeagu. You are giving money to Ebubeagu. You are paying Ebubeagu to buy yourselves. You're paying Ebubeagu to protect Nigeria. You're paying Ebubeagu to protect Nigeria with your own money. Anyone that wants to join the studio for comment, you can click the link in the comment section and join the studio. I see that the link does not also come out on the Twitter comment section. Let me see if I can post the link to the Twitter comment section for those that want to join from the Twitter comment section. So when they are telling you Ebubeagu, 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 this is how it came to be. This is how Ebubeagu came to be. Ebubeagu was unveiled by the Zoo terrorist government. And now they have given power to some of you to go and use the same Ebubeagu to fund them. You deceive Biafrans, collect their money, use it to fund Ebubeagu. I want to see all those people that were commenting nonsense in the comment section. Now that you have seen how Ebubeagu came to be, the mandate that Ebubeagu was unveiled for, come and defend Ebubeagu now. Come and defend those that are using Biafra money for Ebubeagu. Come and defend them and clap for them. So that I see that your brains are working perfectly okay. They know and understand that after the declaration of Biafra in Lati 2024, that the next thing we have to do is to intensify the liberation in the homeland, thereby flushing out the terrorists. Flushing out the terrorists. So to be able to truncate these processes, they have to recruit some of you, give some of you mandate and assignment to come and poison the minds of many Biafrans. So that one, the funds that are going to the liberation will be truncated halfway. The formidability, the consistency, the togetherness, the fast track on the funding will stop halfway. The strength and the firepower of the liberation in the homeland will stop halfway. So that while you are trying so hard and trying so much to see that we get to the next stage, you will hang off halfway. Now, there's something I want to address. The media team, if you are a Biafran and you are in the media, I have given this message before and I'll continue to give. Every food that the Biafra Defense Forces serves are not for you. These food are meant for the enemies of Biafra. When you see Biafra Defense Forces drop one message or another or one video, these messages are not for you. These videos are not for you. These videos are for the enemies of Biafra to dine with. That is the food that is dropped for them. Whether you hear that from that video they say one commander is fighting another commander, it is not your food to consume. It is the food that is served for the enemies of Biafra. Whether you hear that one commander said they want to go to another commander's house or another commander's home and talk to another commander, it is not for you. Stop dabbling into issues that you don't know and it is not meant for you. Concentrate on your media awareness. Don't go and make any post or start explaining anything. Don't go and interpret what you don't know. There are many videos that have emanated from the Biafra Defense Forces recently. Post the video the way you see it. If you want to post. If you don't want to post, if you don't want to share, if you don't want to like, walk past the videos. Don't start interpreting or explaining the video. It is not for you. Those that understands the message, that knows that this message is for them, they know what the message means. Biafra Defense Forces have dropped videos or series of videos recently. Those messages are not for you, Biafrans in the media. The videos and the messages are for those that concerns. They are getting the message. Don't go and analyze any of them. And don't go and start DMing anybody and asking questions. Don't go and open program and start analyzing or discussing it. It is not for you. It is a food that is cooked and served for the enemies of Biafra. They will continue to eat the food and eat the food and eat the food till their belly blow off. Poof! That food is not served for you. That food is served for the enemies of Biafra. This is what all of you need to understand. Because every time you will see Biafra Defense Forces come and drop video, some of you will now go and sit down and want to start analyzing. Some of you want to go and start asking questions. The video is not for you. The food was not served for you. It is not for you to consume or swallow or comprehend. Those that have committed crimes against the Biafra Defense Forces, the food, those videos are for them. They are the ones that need to go and start analyzing and digging and asking questions and getting confused. It is not for you. Leave it. Don't go and write anything or comment anything. You can share it and then you leave it. The enemies will go and swallow the food. The food will hook them on the neck because the food is for them alone.
The security.
And those of you sending me messages from accounts on Twitter X about Ambazonia, commenting a Twitter X account on saying that is Ambazonia commenting on the Biafra Defense Force. I will block many of you if you continue to send me those messages. Yes, I'm telling you now, I'll block many of you. Because you fold your arms, you sit down, you hear that the Biafra Defense Forces will attack criminals and kidnappers. Let me play the video again. I love to give you evidences when I'm saying anything. When you see any video or any comment by anybody in the media, you now start picking on it without knowing anything. You are not to comment or start dabbling into things you don't know anyhow. Leave those that know it. Since you don't know anything about it, just keep quiet and don't send me any nonsense. You send me any nonsense, I'll block you. Yes, because I have a lot on my hands already. So coming to disturb me is another load. Now listen to this.
This is for the idiot you call Holy Ghost. That idiot talking rubbish. These are how you people tell us lies. So you have finished the terrorists. But go to our land. How many days? Prime Minister not around. Look at how they buy people everywhere. Protecting their criminal enterprise. By now, and you'll be going to every security issue. These people, let me tell you what they do. They will collect money belonging to them. They cut it, give the commanders. The commanders will cut it, give to their boys. Before you bring to their boys, my brothers, I can categorically confess it to you. But since they have disgraced themselves, let me bring it to social media. They do kidnapping. Yes, when I don't do kidnapping, these criminals, even these two ones telling you, oh, we are men on the ground. We are you people not collecting money from politicians? Everything man now. All the kids are the own. So the criminal, the one telling you that he's a success, formally they presented it as Simon Eber's PA. Is this the ones, this Okoko called the Butoza? I don't worship human beings. Butoza killed our people. He was pardoned to return to this thing. Or are you people not here? People that you can do 419 is people who joined this very struggle recently. Butoza, if you are here 2021 when this thing started, you will hear loads of exposition involving Butoza. How they died our men. The great men that we are buying in this very struggle we are used by Butoza. And he was later pardoned. We are you people not here. Make una come carry me, make I defend una today. Today is the last. Ndoshi. Who is the Chiamaka Jere? Now when somebody may defend unu, nwani. Onye amami udo ji ọtọ nwani nke a. Nwani ọ dị ka eji ọtọ go eji ikpu gị. Mara that you are in the categories of Akarawa. Aja dere ana snap ya emeghe n'okpuru wa n'ihu wa o nwekwara mgbe m na-eme ụdịrị ihe ahụ emeghe na-atọkwa ụtọ tinye ya n'okpuru n'elu n'ala. This is how they keep on sending pictures of ekwere m kwuo okwu ndị oshi. If you know na agbogoro m gị ọgwụ, you know me. Nobody needs to tell you who I am. Ịmara na agwọrọ na nga ọgwụ. O nwere ihe m na-emere gị spiritual. Deactivate your money. Because I used to say it. Where I stand is in Biafra. Anybody that is not in Biafra, una go crash you. Deactivate your money from that account. Because if you make donation there, your money go to depreciate.
Now, those of you that are sending me those messages or circulating all those nonsense, that Biafra army should not be speaking on the media or saying anything or this and that. Where were you when this idiot here made this video? Where were you when they were calling the Biafra Defense Forces criminals and kidnappers? And they even make programs like this advising other people to remove their Visa card and their money from Biafra liberation. This is not an old video. This is a video that is made now that Prime Minister is in detention. So when you start sending me or posting that nonsense from one Twitter handle, you say Ambazonia people are putting it, I will block you and I will block your generation. And your stupidity need to wake up from where you have been. Do you know the damages this very video here alone has caused to all of you that wanted to make donations to the Biafra liberation? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know the damages this video of this kind now have caused to the Biafra liberation? The Biafra liberation is not you that is crossing your leg on top of sofa and enjoying yourself, eating kwabi, eating one leg of chicken and turkey. The Biafra liberation is the Biafra liberation forces, the liberation army in the homeland who are in the bushes, sacrificing their lives and pleasure for you to get Biafra. That is the Biafra liberation. The Biafra liberation is not me that is talking here now. The liberation forces, those that are making the Biafra to have the name, are those in the bushes in the homeland. Then you hear this non-entity here talking and then telling you that those Biafra army, that they are criminals, they are kidnappers. And he's telling you also that you should go and remove your money from supporting the Biafra army, Biafra liberation. You should go and remove your money. Go and unsubscribe. Don't put your money again because it is a scam. Then when you see somebody write something on Twitter, you now go and start commenting. Then when you see the Biafra army now drop one video, which is meant for useless people like this, which is meant for the enemies of Biafra like this, which is meant for those that have distorted your brains and minds to go backward, to now make people to start seeing that what we are doing are irrelevant. Biafra Defense Forces will drop a video and then you will now go and start looking for explanation. You want to go and know who is Rose, who is not Rose, who is Butuzo, who is not Butuzo. What is your business there? Are you in the Defense Council? The video there is dropped for those that are concerned.
This is for the idiot.
The video was dropped for those that are concerned, those that have known the evil that they have committed against the Biafran Defense Forces. There are how you cook food to serve on the head and you set fire to serve on the head of the enemy that have come to kill your women and children. You leave them to go and use it to fight amongst themselves. Then you will jump out somewhere. You see Amazonia account on Twitter, post something. You now come and look for Sonny to come and DM Sonny and say, Sonny, people should do this, people should do that. I said, I will block all of you if you continue. If you don't know how war is being fought, if you don't know what liberation and freedom is all about, the tactics and the methodology that needs to be used, the multidimensional approaches that need to be used, just go into your bedroom, lock yourself up. If you have money you want to give us, go and just drop the money through your Visa card, then go inside your bedroom and sleep. Then allow the liberation forces to use the money to liberate you in the homeland. Don't come to make decisions for them. Any video you see the liberation forces drop online, do not go and find out the interpretation of the video. The video is not for you. The video is for the enemies of Biafra. Whether they say that the general commander is killing the second commander, or the second commander is killing the first commander, or the first commander is no more the commander, or the second commander is no more. It is not for you. The video is for the enemies of Biafra. I want everybody to cut this very part and circulate it. I'm addressing this nonsense so that none of you, nobody in the media team will now wake up any day and start going to analyze or ask questions about the interpretation of a video, a press memo that is released from the Biafra Defense Forces. Whichever way the video is released, leave it there. It is not for you. You know nothing about it. You don't understand the interpretation. It is not for you to understand. Those that the message is delivered to, they know the meaning of the message. You want to know Rose. You want to know Butuzo. You are all crazy. You don't understand what we are doing. That's why Onyendu said, it is not everything that we will put out clean in the public. We only make out what you should know, and what you should not know will remain the way it is, because if we allow you to know everything, you will destroy it all overnight. Whichever way the message is released as a press from the Biafra Defense Forces, take it the way you hear it. You don't understand it? Yes, because it was not meant for you. Those that understand that message, they know why and how that message came that way. They understand the meaning, and then they will go and start fighting amongst themselves and to dig in to understand it better, because it is for them. But you cannot go and look for an idiot like this who made this kind of video castigating and destroying the reputation of the Biafra Defense Forces. But when you see Biafra Defense Forces drop one video which you are just supposed to share, make it to go viral, oh, you come and start asking silly and stupid questions. I want everyone to cut this very part where I have addressed this issue. Cut it starting from where this idiot spoke against the Biafra Defense Forces. Then you cut the side that I just addressed this part here now, and then you circulate it, a short video. That's what I want everybody to do. To address this issue and this madness of you people going to interfere with the press releases and videos that the Biafra Defense Forces will release. Whether you hear that they release it and then they put my name inside, that I am a kidnapper, or I am a criminal, or I am a terrorist, or I am this or that, to leave it there. It is for a purpose. Just share the video and walk past. If I like to address it, I will address it when I want, and when it is the right time. When it is not the right time, I will not address it. Don't make their work difficult for them. Your work in the media is just to make the thing go viral. Yes. The message is delivered, it is delivered. Chicken. So, those of you sending me those messages of Ambazonia, suggestion, oh, in fight, don't bring military into India and this and that. If you continue to send me those things, I will block you. I'll block your ass and block your generations. Because you are useless. If you were not useless, you would have sorted a solution out when an idiot like this one on the screen here now came out to come and call the same Biafra Defense Forces criminals and kidnappers. But you close your mouth, you did not do anything. I salute all Biafrans. We have to round up because time is not on our side. We long to see you all again. They will from here.